Good morning, Matt. How are you?
I'm doing all right. Tired, but
Tired? Why are you tired?
just working till like 4 a.m. and then waking
Yikes.
up, waking up here and like kind of 9 and then preparing and then jumping on here. So
You know what's funny? Right as you said that, I looked behind you, and just to the left of your head, there's a book that says Crash. I think it's a book. And literally, you're like, I'm dying. And then it
yeah,
says
this one,
Crash.
yeah, that one has a big graph that goes down to it. No, that's I
Uh-huh.
like that book. That's more for
That's fun. No, it just was like, Matt, Crash. We're here. Happy
Actually,
Friday.
I'm not crashed at all.
No?
To be honest, I'm like my brain is like super wired. It's just everything
Yeah.
else feels tired.
Yeah. That makes sense.
So like my eyes are heavy, but like I'm like thinking like at 110%. So
That's great.
yeah, I was
So,
just doing
what
like
kind of marketing were you doing last night?
so last night I finally got one of my ad campaigns to hit. Like for a while it was like the CTR was good, but people were landing on the landing pages and it was just eating shit. And then
Mm.
I finally figured out the right combination of like art direction, theme, wording, and narrow down the channels as well. And then the landing page matching the same thing. And I was like, okay, the CTR is still the same on Reddit, but what was happening is people were staying on the landing page and actually at least staying longer and reading through, watching the content because of videos. And I was like, I could not get that to work for like 20 days. I would do like these like $50 to $100 tests every single day, or at least, or
Yeah.
maybe every other day. I wouldn't say always every day. And it was just like never worked. And I was like, God damn it, what is wrong here?
Yeah.
So I'm like, and in hindsight, the answer is very obvious. You just have to, you have to stand out. I mean, it really comes out. But how do you stand out, right? It's
Right.
like, well,
Right.
everyone's going one direction, you have to go the other. Well, if you're going the other, you don't have a template to work with.
Mm-hmm.
So, and you can't use ChatGPT because ChatGPT is all about patterns,
Sure.
right? Ads is about pattern interrupts. So you
Right.
can't use ChatGPT to say, how am I going to interrupt a pattern? Because it'll do it in a way, you can ask it, it'll give you answers, but it'll do it in a way that's not contextually relevant. And once you start going down that path, ChatGPT is just either always going to agree with you or always going to say, if you say it's not going to work, it'll also say it won't work.
Sure.
So you'll never get like an expert opinion on it.
Yeah.
So once you're in the creative space, you're on your own.
Isn't that the truth? What a great quote.
So I got one of them to work. It's just so I
Here's
know
Matt,
Reddit.
midnight, last night, he's alone in the creative space. What happens? What is this Reddit ad? I want to dig in it. Like, what is
It's
this?
really simple. All I did was I just took some of our UGC. Oh, they talk about Chipbot, and I was like, well, this is an image-based ad. It's a display ad. It's on mobile and desktop. I was like, well, that works really well. But I know I did some testing with like recreating that in an image form. It just never worked. You know, people click it and they bounce the landing page. I was like, all right, screw this.
Okay. Yeah.
I decided to just kind of make like a manga-style ad, and it's just
What is
these
a
panels.
manga-style ad?
So in America, we have there's comics in America, and then in Japan they have an equivalent there called manga. That means like everything's also reversed. So you don't read from left to right; you read from right to left.
Sure.
So right down and then left down.
Okay.
So everything's inversed. But I'm pretty aware of the folks in these channels because they're like tech channels, and generally anime is pretty popular. And usually, if you know anime, you know a little bit about manga. It's pretty popular in the US. And
Yes.
it's like, you know what? That would be something you would not see in a tech channel, an ad that is
Brilliant. It's brilliant because you took a hobby that you know is potentially an enjoyment or a pastime from this target demographic, and then you met them where their interest group lies, which is incredible, right?
Right.
That's the creative space. And you're now shifting your boring business marketing that everybody is doing business advertising, and you're meeting it there and putting it into that style. That's brilliant. Way to go.
It's
Matt
something
at
I
midnight.
forgot.
This is what we need to do. Matt at midnight. He's like, this is where
But the problem is I get no
creative.
sleep because once my brain goes, I cannot sleep. It's like
Yeah.
impossible.
Yeah.
And it's like, so anyway, like I got it to work. It was instant. Like
What did you use to make the
I
manga
used
style creative?
Nano Banana.
What's that?
So it's an AI, it's a Gemini AI model for image making.
Okay.
So maybe like, we'll say yesteryear, like 5 years ago,
Mm-hmm.
I would go on Fiverr and get a designer and be like, hey, make this. I
Sure.
just prompted against
And you just
AI.
prompted the storyline of what you wanted it to show, and
It
then
wasn't
you.
as simple as that.
Okay.
So it starts out as like, it really starts like a canvas. Like you just pick, okay, here's some ideas, just mash them together and play around with it. So the prompts are simple. Actually, the more rigid your prompts are, the harder it is to get your output. So when you're working with
Agreed.
like maybe a
Yeah.
creative with image and you're trying to do something original, but not
Mm-hmm.
look like AI, you got to start in a space where AI can be really successful in. And then
Sure.
you just guide it through. So it's like, here's some example art styles. Here's the example, like here's where I'm looking for. It's not like I started out with the exact vision that came in the output. It was like, it's
Mm-hmm.
just in this direction. And we just went
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Halfway
How many
through,
times? How many times did you have to go back and prompt in and correct and prompt in? Like, what's that length of time? Because that's what I
probably like
think
half
people.
hour.
Yeah. So when we're talking about AI, this is a question I get asked a lot since I've started dabbling with AI tools. It's like, oh, did you just throw it in and it was done? And I said, no, that AI prompting is an art form and it takes a long time. The creative process when you go in, the finessing of it and how you correct it is often what loses people in my experience. When I'm talking to them, they say, oh, it just didn't do it, so I gave up. I'm like, no, that's the creative process. You have to have a conversation with whatever AI tool you're using in the prompt and say, no, not that, I meant this. You have to get more descriptive and you have to be more conversational, if that makes sense. I don't know how to explain
No,
it, but
it
it's
depends.
like
It just
30
depends how you do
minutes.
it.
Yeah.
I wasn't conversation at all.
Okay.
It was take an output,
Mm-hmm.
or have an input, have the reference, describe what you want, produce. If it didn't produce anything that I would want, restart.
Okay.
And it's much
So you
faster
don't
because
correct what it already produced. You just go back to the
once you start
beginning.
correcting, it's going to undo something that you didn't want undone. And then it's really
Good tip.
better when it's like, hey, I need to go from point A to point B.
Yeah.
Don't even mention the context of the previous stuff and don't even tell where you want to go.
Okay.
Just go little steps.
Mm-hmm.
I think in the beginning you can be a little bit more looser, but once you're getting about to that 75, 80%, then you got to do step by step. So like the final image of the ad was actually a composite of like 4 pieces of images.
Okay.
About 50% of the creative process, I was working with one image, and then I started to see it couldn't just make modifications in one panel. So I just started splitting them out. And
Now,
it
is this
worked
a
out.
still image? Is the ad a still image or
It's
is it a
still image.
video?
Yeah.
Still image. Okay. What is the
and
hook?
then
What did you say? What's the hook?
the hook is actually the visual. It's not. There's nothing. There's actually no words
Okay.
in the actual
Okay.
image. There's no words in the image. So it's just like a lady in her young 20s, kind of filming like it just looked like a tripod and filming. And then there's another scene where it's like a computer on a desk. It's in her. You can tell it's in her room because a lot of people record, in their house. So it's in her room. And there's a picture of like WordPress. It was able to generate like the WordPress dashboard and then like a little Chipbot plugin. It's a small detail, like unless you know Chipbot, you wouldn't know, but it's got the WordPress logo, so there's some type of signal there. It's like a cat in the background, and it's all black and white. So I did a black cat, so it would stick out. Like if you're just scrolling through, you just see a black blob for like a nanosecond, and you kind of look at it. And the other panel was showing Chipbot that she was holding the phone, and then Chipbot was there. And the image of the little Chipbot video was the same still image of her when on the first panel. And then the last one is just the Chipbot logo, but in this like comic style.
Very cool.
And then when you click into it, it goes into a video that matches the same style. So I recorded a video that I used Sora 2 to say, not Sora 2, VO3, take this still image and record a video saying these things. And because I know it's manga coming in, I had it, I had it actually saying Japanese and I did English subtitles. Because I know that matches I know this it's not going to be foreign to the people
Sure.
clicking the ad.
Sure.
May look foreign to us, but it won't be foreign to them. So I got that to work, and I know it's the people that, at least a good portion that were targeted my target audience, because they click the next button, which is say, do you want to learn more? Right? It's very simple. You can either close back or hit learn more. And 50% of the people who watch that video click learn more, which I never, ever got that. So if you think about from a funnel perspective, right?
That's great.
You bring 100 people in.
Sure.
Right? Okay. 50 people always leave. It's like a given for any ad. People, it's like accidental click, whatever. 50 people stayed. Out of 50 people, 25 people say, I want to learn more. And then here's where it drops off, because I didn't continue the creative process. I just went down with my typical ads, and then those are all dropped off. Those all failed. But that's fine. Like, I didn't care about that. I just wanted people to say, are they in? I have an idea. I'm going to do it in this creative way. Are you interested? Yes, no. That's all I care about. And I finally, after 3 weeks, I finally got that to work. So I was like, that's why I was staying up, because then I got my wheel spinning. Okay, what am I doing next? I gotta keep following the trend here and see what I can do. It's a very simple process. If you think, like, in hindsight, I should have been doing this in the beginning, but it's just not, it's not easy to say, hey, I'm going to go left where everyone goes right, especially when it's just so much easier to be like, well, company A did this. Why can't I do this? Or company B did this. Why can't I do something? Why can't I just take a variation of it? And what just happens is just, if you're scrolling, we'll take Reddit as an example. If you're scrolling on Reddit and you see that ad and another company copies it, the second instance you see something similar is already like, oh, it's a pattern. Oh, I already predict, if I click this, I already predict exactly what's going to happen.
Yeah.
So copying just doesn't work. But I fall in this trap like literally almost every day, because it's really hard.
You just inspired me. You just inspired some future creative that's ballsy for me. I've never done it, but it made sense to me of why these other creators are using this tactic now. And I just had kind of an aha moment. With where we're taking Fix and Form next year, it's very much in line with a larger client, and I'm actually aligning it to more of a luxury business service, because it's not a necessity. Branding is very much a luxury business service. And I've aligned it more with the med spa industry and how they market and how they actually hook people in. And it's the beauty, it's the aesthetic, it's the results of what the action will get you. And I was almost thinking about, this is marketing that I've never done, nor have I even thought about, but it's almost like those reels of these people putting on makeup or glamming up or doing something like they're putting on lipstick while they're talking to you. And it was that whole thought process of, I could film can you still hear me?
I can still hear you.
Oh, weird. My headphone just did something weird. Okay, good.
No, you're good.
It's almost like the aesthetic appeal of having some like bougie backdrop, or you're at some place that is more of a glamorous, luxurious type of setting, and you're putting on, really glam makeup or doing something almost like it's a photo shoot, but you're talking to the viewers about this branding process and how it is this kind of luxury experience and elevating your brand, but it's totally hitting them in a way that target market, just like your target market is going to be really into that kind of anime. Perhaps the target market of the new clients that we're looking for next year is more into that glam luxury. They're going to be distracted by whatever it is that you're doing, but the messaging when you're talking to them about it has nothing to do with what you're doing. Right? But it's hitting them with, whatever their problem might be when they go into work and they're thinking about the issues with their brand and their business. They're actually not going to be the business owner now. We're not going to be focusing on small businesses where it's like the owner and the founder and the creator. We're going to be getting bigger, medium, and large businesses. And that's really going to be more of that senior leadership, maybe the VP of marketing, maybe it's their team and their staff. Maybe it's the lower level marketing people who are tasked with hiring agencies for the projects that they're working on. So what are those viewers looking into? Because they're going to be the ones that are shopping us and going to be booking us with their bosses, most likely.
You get this. Marketing is we had this maybe similar conversation. It's distilling the ocean into a single droplet, and it's like, and it's even harder. It's like, because it's actually a moment in time. Because when you have the final solution, it doesn't work. Like,
Right.
Whatever the future is for, or the lifespan of that, it eventually will not work. So
Right.
it's even harder. So marketing is really, if you do it well, it shouldn't be expensive. That's a rule. That's a number one rule. It should not be in the long run. In the long run, like I think there needs to be initial investment if you have no idea what you're doing, like me. But in the long run, everything should really pay. Like, should be really easy to get to get the word out eventually.
Right.
And then when things don't work, I think things work in the cycles, right? When you're first starting out, hopefully you're at the beginning of a meaningful cycle. That's where all the capital is spent. And then I would say past that 33% of that cycle, you should be able to not spend so aggressively and get the same results. And then near the end, about 66, you will see a taper off, but you can just cut spending entirely and just let it taper off, and then kick back out the gas once it hits whenever you feel comfortable.
So I know we kind of dabbled in talking about passion versus ambition, and this actually brings up this question for me. Last night, you're here, you're midnight, you're working in your marketing, you can't go to sleep. Do you think that was from a passion that you had for your business, or the ambition that you had to get this done because you were so frustrated with it not working? Like, what's the difference of the two? And what do you think that came from?
I would say passion is, it depends on how. There's a lot of interpretations of passion. So I'm not quite passionate of staying up doing ads at 12 a.m. I'm not even passionate about marketing all that much.
Right.
But I am driven by winning.
Okay.
Right. I don't like.
Which is more of an ambition thing.
I don't know. I don't think I'm ambitious. Right. I think ambitious
don't think
means
you're ambitious.
No, I think if you're ambitious, where I think is, if you're ambitious, you're wide-eyed. You are just seeing like the horizon 2x, right? You see past it and then you're going around and you see it again. Yeah. That's ambition. I don't see that at all. I have a friend who literally goes like, Matt, you're wasting this talent. You're wasting all your talent on this little tiny company. Your talent matches a bigger ambition. And it's like, well, you know what? It is not, I don't think, I think it's really hard to be both, because to have grand visions, you really got to be in the space of fluidity and basically just always adapting at the micro level. So at the macro level, you get to the vision. I think if you're driven, you mostly work at the micro level. Like, you're very little on the macro level, because to do this 12 a.m. stuff, right? You have to be like, okay, if I don't get this, I die tomorrow, like that kind of thing. I just don't think. I think that's like a fire. That's like, you have to get this done kind of thing. Yeah. Like, no matter what. And I think that's I think it's just really hard to have that skill set, but also at the same time be able to sit, think slowly, and really see out into the distance, and then figure out where the future is going. Or even for some, it's the reverse. Be able to sit down, think really slowly, and recreate the past, and then and see how the present or the near future play out. Right? Go
ahead.
I'm much more of like a think fast, and I think I should think slower more often. But I'm much more of a think fast in the moment. So it's hard for me to think grand unless I take a vacation or something.
2 points that you just brought up. One is, where do you think that drive that you said you have to do it or you die tomorrow type of thing, where does that come from? And the second is, you just reminded me of an old boss that had me read Thinking Fast and Slow. Have you ever read that book?
Yeah, I have this is a book somewhere on this.
It's somewhere. Yeah, I know it's somewhere buried in our bookshelf. I am very similar to you. I think fast in the moment. It's more impulsive. And for me to slow down and really think about the planning and the future of that action, it takes a vacation, or it takes some break time.
I think you do take a lot of time planning, though. You plan a lot. You plan a lot. You plan a lot for the podcast.
I feel like it's 1,000%, though. I feel like it's impulsive, though.
And you have much grander visions. Like, you can tell they're way more fleshed out. Like you don't know how to get
Interesting.
there, but they're way more fleshed out. I can't think of something I can't flesh out. It's
Okay,
impossible.
got it. So you're now saying there's a differentiation between having the impulsive action and just thinking about right now, but you don't see what that's going to lead to, but you act anyway. And then me, if I'm impulsively acting, it's also because I'm carrying a future vision of it, but I don't really know the
No,
path to
no,
get there. I
no.
just want to
It's a little
impulsively act.
different. So
Okay.
I can't work on something I have no idea where I'm doing. So my vision is a
Okay.
lot closer because I know where the destination is. I know
Mm,
how to get, I know exactly, like I can't do something unless I know, okay, if I take one of these paths, it's going to get there. Once I
okay.
know that, then it's all cylinders are firing and I just go straight there. You know, whatever casualties happen, they happen.
But do you know where there is? Is that what you're saying?
I
Do you
just
know?
know either through data, gut feeling, or a combination of both that things are going to go to that destination. I don't always know the solution. Obviously, I want to know the solution at the time, but if
Okay.
I'm really confident I can get there, then it's all cylinders. If I can't get
Interesting.
there, then I make two choices. Either I have to think long and hard about it or do something else.
Okay.
Right. And I'm not a person that it's really hard for me to say, well, think long and hard. There's always things to do. There's
Mm-hmm.
always new ideas that I can execute today,
Yeah.
or in a very short time period. So a lot of my and being driven also is kind of having a really strong belief system. So I strongly believe not only the company hasn't reached its fullest potential, but
Mm-hmm.
I also believe I'm the only one who can do it.
Yeah. But those are
I
the
know at least
vision.
the second. I know the second point at least is not true. Anyone, there's a lot of people can do it too, and I know the first point of is it maximum potential that could be also subjective, but you have to kind of over believe, and
Yeah.
then being driven is much easier, right? Staying at 12 a.m. I can't even tell a difference. I woke up today. I don't have that much sleep. I still can't tell a difference. I'll feel it later
Yeah.
because table tennis I'll be real sluggish, but other than that, I mean I can't really it does. When we talk about work-life balance, like it's all blended anyway, so it doesn't really impact me.
That's a true life though, I believe of a CEO, right? Like when you are leading a company, when you are the visionary, it's what you just said. It's you know the path forward, you have convictions about it, and it makes you kind of a little crazy because at all odds, you know that you are the person to do it and you've got to lead this company forward and it's not done. And if you have people following in that path, you're the one that has the passion. You're the one that has the conviction. You're the one that says, we have to go do this. I just know. And when you're not ready to put that company down, I feel like that's what it takes to be a really great CEO, to say, no, this is the path forward. This is where we're going. We've got to just do this. And that is leadership. That's a skill set. That in itself is saying, I'm going to lead this ship. And there are, so many paths forward, but this is the one that we're going to go and we're going to try. And you also have to have a lot of confidence to try it and to say, I don't know where it's going to lead. I think it's going to lead here, but also not be afraid to change
So,
it.
so you can do more than there's more than one way to get there. I would say I'm probably less confident, but maybe more courageous.
Hmm.
I'm more the person that maybe we're fear, right? Maybe fear of losing capital,
Mm-hmm.
fear of losing sleep, fear of whatever. I don't
Yeah.
really care so much about that, but I'm definitely not as confident. Like I will go
Okay.
into, to this. First of all, this Reddit thing is in my head. I still think it's stupid. Why the heck am I going to promote something in an area I don't even know about?
Sure.
And it never worked in the past. Well, why the heck am I doing it? Because I was like, well, I hate being stuck with not a lot of marketing options. I just don't believe that my company is not fit for that platform. I just don't believe it. There's too many people there. So,
Yeah.
and everyone I've talked with Chipbot wants Chipbot on their website. Like I know those are two different areas of the spectrum, but I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
I just don't believe I can't make a connection to
Yeah.
from one side to the other. So, I was never confident that these would. I'm still not confident, but I still make it there. I will get money. I'm very certain I will get money doing this because now, especially since last night, I know the path. But I'm still not confident. Like it's like something either A, I'm good at, or I'll make money. But I do know I will follow through and do the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
And what I do know is once I do that, I can either continue doing that or hire someone to do it and just say, copy what I did, and I'll give you like a very large promotion or bonus, whatever, if you just 2x my process. Right?
Okay.
I'm not trying to tell. It's much easier to hire to say, take this existing process and make it better versus say, go invent it. That's my job as CEO, is to invent, because no one else is going to grow the company but me. So I have to come up with these processes first and then hand them off. That's where I am confident. I'm pretty confident that I could hire someone to fill in, to do that, and to be like, okay, your accountability is maintaining that at baseline or growth.
Yeah.
Can't get it, fired. If you grow it, you get more money. It's very simple.
What a gamble.
Well, I mean, like I'd be straight up, and I do that with all my hires, like video editing too. I was like, hey, we have these needs.
Yeah.
You fill them. And I used to do them myself with Cat and Runway ML. And like, I used to do it myself. Like, okay, here's the process I do, copy it. If you can't match it or make it better, you're fired.
Right.
And I say that up front. I'm be like, this is what I'm looking for. I don't have time to train. I can tell you, I can do knowledge transfer.
Sure.
I can't tell you how to do your job.
Yeah.
And I can't tell you, and I can't be looking, while I look right, I can't keep looking left to see if you're performing well or not. I just need a result and move on. So that's kind of like my whole, and I'm very confident about that process. That's like, may sound like maybe not a great culture fit. Everyone's kind of like held to a certain accountability standard.
Sure.
But at the end of the day, we're all, I mean, I run my business a little different. I pay everyone well. So if you do a great job, you're going to get a shit ton of money. And that's just what I believe. I'd rather pay them everything and pay myself nothing, because they're the ones making everything work in a way that I could never do on myself.
I love that.
I tell them up front, and that's how I run my company. Sure, the culture is not like, people are saying, what's your culture? Like, I don't know, we're all remote. Half of them are Japanese. They're already different.
I would say our culture is actually just very transactional and very results oriented, which is actually a culture. You say our culture isn't, everybody thinks culture has to be soft and emotional and fluffy. And I'm also here to say, from a branding perspective, we're talking about internal brand. This is what I teach on. There's internal and external branding, right? For any company. And so culture and people management and processes and ops is very much an internal brand experience. So when someone works for ChipBot, we talk about internal brand culture. What does that look like? There is a culture. It's very transactional. It's a little bit more cold on the human touch side, which is what you want. It's very much results oriented. And that's a culture. And guess what? Yeah. The more you own that, the more you're going to find your tribe. There are people out there who want that kind of work. And they say, Matt, I want to work for you. That's me. I don't want all the fluff and the coffee talk and the quarterly events and the team building, stuff. That to me doesn't feel good. I want to go in. I want to know my expectations, clear cut, black and white. You tell me at hiring, this is what gets you promoted. This is what gets you fired. Awesome. There are so many personality types that thrive in that environment, and that is a culture. And so don't discount what you're doing, because you're building something that works for you as the kind of boss that you are or leader, and what kind of team you want. And there are people out there that would love to work on your team.
Yeah, that's a good point. I never thought about that. It goes counter to what I see everywhere else. So that's why it's hard to, I don't know this, when it comes in the culture and team building, I know how to hire, I know how to manage a team, but how do you make a team like your company? That is something that maybe I'll never, like I said, it's different on culture. I think some people love a company. Some people more like it just because it is transactional.
Right.
But I don't know. I do know is the team is very happy. And that's all I kind of care about. They get nervous.
Why do you think they're happy? Why are they happy? Yeah. Why are they happy?
Because,
I have a clue. You want me to give you a hint?
I don't really know a direct answer, because I said, they're nervous when I'm like this, when I'm not satisfied. They're definitely nervous. And it's because I'm really direct. I'm like, okay, what do you think? I literally say, this is the worst thing I'll ever see. And here's why. And then we're like, okay, we'll go correct it. And then and eventually we come to a negotiable agreement somewhere in future iterations. Okay, ship it. That's fine.
Yeah.
But aside from that, they're generally happy talking to me. They don't mind, talking casually, actually, because I'm not too formal. I'm clearly not very formal at all. And that comes off a much more a person off the street in some ways, sometimes in Slack or in Zoom meetings versus always following like a procedure or something. I just feel more natural. It's just, everything's just more natural. We'll say it like that. Like I'm a boss, but it's a natural.
You said something in a past episode where I liked it, but I'm going to bring it back here because I think it's relevant. You said that you are not hierarchical at your company. You don't view yourself kind of up here as the founder and the boss and the CEO and like all the executive bullshit. You just see yourself as a team member, but you have the vision that you're convicted about of what that vision is of your company that you want to deliver on. But aside from that and that strategic path forward, you are a team player and you are on their team. And I think that what actually makes your team happy, there's a couple of things. One, you are very direct and upfront. And you can't find a lot of that, especially in small businesses. There's a lot of gray and cloud, and there's a lot of wishy-washy in small businesses because oftentimes there is so much pivoting. We don't know where we're going.
Well, business is like literally a lot of gray. This is so much gray. Yeah.
There's a lot of gray, but I feel like in that onboarding process, in the recruiting process, in the hiring process, you just are very black and white with this is a job. This is what will do great. This will get you fired. This is how I work. And you're on their level. You don't have that arrogance about you of being the boss. And it's not coming from a dictator standpoint of, you didn't do what I wanted. I don't see from the outside in any of that toxic leadership with that, where this is a fine line with what you're saying on this episode might make many people uncomfortable and disagree with us. And that's great. I actually think there's a fine line of how you're engaging with an employee and you say, holy shit, you don't do this right and you're fired. I mean, that would turn a lot of people off. But in my listening to this, there isn't that dictatorship of I'm the CEO, I'm the boss, this is my company, you work for me, you didn't do a good job, you're fucking fired. That would be really toxic. Right. But what you're saying is, can you still hear me?
I can still hear you, yeah.
Oh, my AirPod is now dying. Okay, now am I getting feedback? It just died.
You're good.
We're going to keep going. We'll just see how the audio goes from here. What I'm hearing is you are coming in at their level and you're saying, I want you to join my team. And this is a very flat culture, meaning our culture is we're all together. We're all doing this together. And this is our shared vision. And so come on board to this vision and let's do it together. And then if it doesn't work and I'm giving you the expectation and it's very black and white and you're not meeting that expectation, I actually think that makes people happier in work because they understand the goal and then you did what you said you were going to do, which a lot of bosses don't do that. They don't always say what they're going to do and then do it. So for me, I feel
that doesn't make any sense to me.
Happiness.
I mean, I think you should, if you say something, you put your money where your mouth is.
But
right?
That's your personality. That's why I'm saying it works so well because it's great. And that's a personal thing. You know, business is very personal. I just had this conversation this morning. Business is very personal. We talk about this all the time at Fix and Form. We don't hire businesses. We don't work with businesses, and businesses are not unique. There are so many of us that do the same thing. It's the people behind the business that makes it unique. And you hire a person that you want to work with that happens to do the business that you're looking to do, right? And so when we say business isn't personal, that's bullshit. Like we can air who we are anywhere we want for our business because we're people. And I want to attract the people that want to work with me and I want to detract the people that don't. And I think that what you're doing is that's a personality thing, which is great because that's how you're showing up at work, which we show up at work the same way we show up at personal. The second you try to mix the two and put separation and say, well, this is who I am at work, which is different than who I am as a person, it doesn't work. And so I feel like the more you're showing up at work just like you are, no bullshit, like you said, off the street. I love that. Like off the street, Matt, you're giving them what you put out there. And that is really remarkably impressive. And it's also not often found in business.
I think I've never heard anyone say this before. So it's interesting that's the analogy, because I think I agree with that. It's just, I have nothing to compare it with. So it's one data point.
Right.
But I do believe that I think maybe somewhere maybe like 7-8 years ago, I used to hire to say, I need someone with the skill set to fit the needs here.
Mm-hmm.
Happened maybe starting 3-4 years ago now with ChipBot is I hire based on more on the compatibility, and I think how you nail it with my personality. I think at the time, even before we jumped on, I probably wouldn't have said personality, but you're actually very much right. A lot of the folks around the team, they do appreciate how everything's up front, and they also rely on my drive. And I love that they rely on it because it makes me even go further.
Yes. Yeah. And I always say, this is my belief system. I think that we hire based on vibe. We hire based on energy. We don't hire based on talents necessarily. Of course, they have to be able and capable to follow directions and follow programming that we have of that role. But I think that you hire much more, and there's a lot of saying about this. This is an age-old quote. You hire for culture and compatibility. You don't hire for the skill set and the ability to complete the task. In most cases, there's going to be some trades and technical work that you have to have the skill sets. But I definitely think if you have two candidates in front of you and both are capable of actually doing the work, you're going to hire the person that vibes most with the leadership of that company. And we are the leadership of our companies. So our personalities have to shine through, especially in a small business, especially with a small team. There aren't many of you to cut through the bullshit. So you have to show up exactly as you are. And if you don't vibe well, if it's not a culture fit, a collaborative process won't work.
Yeah, I 100% agree with that. The folks I bring on, although they have their dedicated role, we're all in this like kind of main channel, and we'll just talk about anything. People bring up like marketing ideas. People bring up product ideas. It all kind of merges into a hot pot. Versus like maybe my previous company, my previous startup, we never had that. It was it was very much, I was a co-founder. My previous company, I was a co-founder. We were very much more top down oriented and be like, okay, you drive it, versus like, chip buy. I was like, it's very much, everything feels much more merged. But there's trade-offs, right? So it's like with chip buy, mistakes happen all the time. Versus like I think my previous startup, it was much easier to be like, from a skill perspective, they were reliable. They paid a little, they also paid them well there too. But it was, we didn't have like really a good connection. It's kind of weird. You mentioned my ChipBot's more transactional, but now that I think about it, yeah, everyone likes their transaction, but also everyone's really open.
Oh.
Right? Because there's no bullshit. Everyone actually speaks their mind. There's no like, the Japanese are still reserved a little bit. That's just their culture, but they're way more open.
How many Japanese team members do you have?
4.
Okay. 4 out of how many?
4 out of 7.
7. Okay. And do they integrate well with the 3 non-Japanese members?
I think only a portion of both sides interact with each other.
Okay.
More just the video editor and our support.
But they interact. Everyone interacts with you. Well,
yeah, we're all in the really open channel, but yeah. So it's kind of like there's some folks, it actually is just due to job necessity, right? There's just some folks that don't need to be involved day to day and they don't want to be. And that's like, there's nothing wrong with that. Like they're just interested in getting, they're just more interested in their piece of the work. There's just some people are like, their job relies on feedback.
I see.
Or ideas, right? And you can't, of course they could just bounce it off me, but I actually tell everyone, do not DM me anything unless it's like, it has to be DM'd. It has to be open channel only.
Okay.
And
but there's you setting expectations really well. And you're very open with how you like to talk. I think you're giving your team permission to talk so openly because of how open you are with your expectations publicly.
Right.
That's great. Yeah.
I think the Japanese folks definitely appreciate that more than anyone because they're the most implicit group we have on our team. Like they go based on like very soft words that have multiple meanings. So they actually do appreciate the directness a lot. And it's not just like, I think it's wrong when it's like, no, it is wrong. And here are the reasons why they like that. And the same with like the US team. US team is on the same page as me. They just appreciate it. They're just like, okay, we get it. We know how Matt works. Like they're already thinking what I'm thinking before I even think about it. That's kind of what the US team is.
That's
Um,
great. How do you
so
find your people? How do you find these people that are so in
I
alignment
used
with
to
you?
find, well, like before I started ChipBot, I used to do hiring like everyone else, just do a job post. And the staff I have now, um, half of them are people I known in the past. And it just so happens like, okay, what are you good at? Can I
Yeah.
fit you here? And then like, oh, you good. All right, great. It was nothing to do with like skill matching. It was like, I just want to hire people in my circle and see what happens. Just test it out actually.
Smart.
Cause
Smart.
it wasn't even, cause I was like, this is ChipBot's my second company where I'm only the solo CEO. For a long time. I always had co-founders. Like I get to decide things. So, that's how I started the team. The Japanese folks, now they started more like on contractor basis. Like I found them, whether on Reddit or whatever, and be like, hey, I need a video editor. And just so happens some of them really love working with me. And it's like, that's how, once they say that, it's like, okay, you want to start part-time, you want to start full-time, we'll figure it out. And they joined the team. That was much easier to work, they weren't part of my initial network, but there's just a strong compatibility. Like I'm not like a salaryman boss where like I'm just always looking down on you. The kind of like what you mentioned, I'm more the same team. And I think the Japanese, it's a contrast and they appreciate that.
Yes, very much so. And I was going to say, do you manage all of your people? I know we've talked about this before. Do you have a chief of staff or do you not need one because it's so
No, I
flat?
do need a chief of staff, but more kind of like what you mentioned, like director of operations or whatever the title is. I'm not too title oriented. Someone to help with day-to-day non-marketing, non-sales.
Yeah, people
I do
management.
I do need that person, but they cost a lot of money, right? At the end of the day, it's like I am trying to grow a company. Every dollar needs to be spent on growth. Operations is not holding me back. It's marketing and sales.
Yeah.
I'm okay doing the grunt work. Whatever grunt work is remaining that my team can't handle, I'm okay doing. I still answer support calls. I still am on Zoom calls. I know I have a support staff, but sometimes they don't reply literally the second a message comes in. I'm like, I'm a message. You guys hold off. And like, I don't, I just, a lot of times I have an intuition on how things come through. So I don't mind going up and down in terms of the skill sets needed throughout the company.
Yeah.
That doesn't bother me. It doesn't drain me either. Marketing sales drains me. Everything else gives me energy, actually.
You have said a couple of times in this episode, this is the first company that you're solo ownership, solo CEO.
I would say second.
Second.
Yeah.
You've had co-founders in the past. What do you enjoy more? Do you enjoy calling all the shots and being alone?
I can't work with people. I love partners with partnering other companies. Like for example, we partner up with a company called Miraflow. They help do our video AI generation. And that company has been very great with us, and we do a lot of work with them too. So there's a lot of reciprocal value just coming in and out. But I can't do co-founders just because there are just some things where I disagree, and I disagree them to an extent where it would maybe kill the trust of that team if they went forward with something I disagreed with. And maybe that's a bad trait with me being a team player, but it's just like, I always feel that my gut is very strong in a lot of things, and I have to trust that more than anything. And obviously other people don't have what I feel. And that means there's a mismatch just in general. So I just don't think I do.
I love what you just said. That really resonated with me. I love that.
Yeah. So I don't think I'm a very good co-founder fit person.
Yeah.
But I'm a very good of like, I can be partnerships with someone. You can work for me. You can work with me, whatever. But when it comes to very hard decision making, I don't want anyone else involved at all. I don't even want advice.
Right.
I want feedback, but not advice. This is two different things. I want to do the action and then tell me I'm wrong.
Ooh, what is the difference between advice and feedback?
I think that may be apples to oranges, but like I tell this to my video editor too. Video editor goes like, "Oh, let me fix this video for it." No, we're gonna ship it, and because you finished it with these errors, and we're gonna ship it, and we'll call it done. The feedback is don't do it. Here's what the feedback is now. Don't do it again in the future.
Okay.
in my head, this is, like I said, I don't think you can compare them, but advice is more like, I'm talking about ideas, you're talking about ideas. Here's my goal. Maybe you would give advice on, here's some ideas to hit that goal. I don't really need ideas. And I'm not inspired by other people's ideas either, because
Yeah.
I'm generally, it's not like I disregard it either. They're in my head, but generally in the moment, I'm very rarely lost. I'm very rarely. If you catch me lost, like just talking here, and I'm like, man, I have no idea what to do. There's some fire alarms going off because I'm never lost.
Yeah.
So if I'm not lost, why do I need advice then?
Right.
Right? Because like I know where I'm going, and I don't know the entire path, but I'm the one doing it, and you're the one not doing it. So why is your advice applying? Like, why would your advice apply?
Exactly.
Sure, maybe there's something I don't know, but let me figure it out on my own.
But that could come in the form of feedback. Like you said, if there's something you don't know, it could be feedback. Oh, Matt, I hear your idea. In my experience with doing something similar, or when I tried X,
right.
This happened. I just want to put that out there. That's feedback. That's not shifting or giving you a different idea. Now I understand it. It's the feedback within the idea that you're presenting. It's not present me with another idea to move forward with.
And I do appreciate folks that come from an experience base. Like if you're giving advice, at least say it from experience. Okay,
it has
here's
to be
where
from experience. It can.
There's a lot of people. There's a lot of people just BS that, right?
Exactly.
And then it's and just being respectful to folks. Like I'm not going to fact check anything.
In that regard, too, Matt, I want to just put this tip out here because this is often something that comes up in peer-to-peer and networking and all of those places that people give feedback. If you don't have anything to add to it, or you have never experienced anything of what's being discussed, you have full permission to say, I don't have any information for you or any feedback because I've never done it and I've never been there, so I don't know. You literally can say, I don't know. The amount of times in all of this business bullshitting that we do that we feel we have to interject with an opinion or a judgment or a viewpoint as feedback is really more harmful than if we were to just say, I don't have any feedback that comes from experience on whatever this is, and I'm just going to bow out, or I'm going to say, I don't have anything to give you, but I'm excited to see how it goes.
You can only say that if you got to have inner peace with yourself. If you're not at peace with yourself, it's impossible to say that because you're missing a chunk. You're missing a chunk of you. So you don't want that. It's not the idea that people fear that. Everyone can say, I don't know that. It's fine. It's the subconscious part of saying, shit, am I losing an opportunity? Right? If you don't have inner peace and that's what's in your head, it doesn't matter if that's just going to come bubble back up. You have to really be really understanding yourself to make those. Some people might call it humility. I just think it's just normal conversation.
Yeah.
And I think it's like you gotta be once you're humble with yourself, you can say whatever you can say. Yeah, you can say that all day long. But I think a lot of folks just aren't. There's so many business folks that who run way more successful businesses, but don't have inner peace. And it just, once they hit a track of rejection, like I can tell it's going to be a crumbling down.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I think it's hard. It's really great advice to say, I don't know. But I understand the difficulty of saying that if you are not confident with yourself.
Not settled with yourself, right? Not content that you are on a different path than other people. You don't have all the answers, and what you're going to have to feed them, it's probably not going to be helpful. So just don't waste the energy.
It's good when you're an expert at something. If you're an expert at something, you know how to say, I don't know something in other areas you're not expert. If you're not good at anything, it's really hard to say, I don't know. Because because once you say that, you really don't know anything. Like you're really just stuck and you can't even add to the conversation. So it's hard.
I'm going to be found out. If I don't know, I'm going to be found out that I don't know anything and I don't want to feel stupid. I think that's another example of us sharing our fear in work, which is my whole mantra for my personal brand. We share your fear. Right. Well, if you're fearful of being an idiot or stupid and you don't know anything, then of course you're going to act out of fear and you're going to overshare in every place that you don't have anything to share. Right.
And business is also a lot of fake it till you make it. Like as much as people say don't, it still is like that. Right. Yeah. If you are doing a deal for the first time, something is being fudged somewhere. And also the other side is fudging somewhere to get leverage on a deal.
Exactly.
There's always there's always this like weird gray area of like, we are going to talk about stuff, but we will omit things we don't want to leak out, right? And that's literally what business negotiation is. It's like, say a bunch of things, but don't say the dirty laundry. Don't lie, but don't omit everything.
Don't say we've never done this before.
Right. So it appears that you can probably get through, right? And then by making sure you don't lie, if they do fact check you, you still continue an honest conversation. But that's like literally all of business, like that. Like people come to me BSing, like, you know, I have like new potential white label partners coming on board, and like, I have 20 websites ready to go, and it's like, okay, why aren't you signing them up? And it's like, well, I didn't talk to them yet. It's like, okay, so you have them ready to go.
They're not ready to go. Why did you say they're ready to go? But
that's like a lot of business. They just jump the gun right away, and they don't. And they don't really know all the details. So that's another thing too. Some people are ignorant, or purposely, I don't want to say deceptive, but like purposely omitting something, right? It's either ignorant or that.
It's usually not a malicious action. It's what I found.
Usually not. Yeah,
people are usually not trying to do. They're just really optimistic, and they're just really.
It's a great way to put it.
They're really
optimistic. Yeah,
that it's going to happen. And they just don't have that grounded realism yet of, I haven't had those conversations. I have 20 websites and those are potential. And I'm optimistic that because I love what you're selling so much, they're going to love it too. But that's just an optimist, which I am an optimist. And my husband is very grounded. And he always pulls my balloon back down to the earth and says, no, let's lead with the facts. Let's actually do the work. Let's have the conversation. And then you're going to see where people are. And I'm also really highly emotional, right? And so I'm very much fluctuating on my emotions in work because I'm going to show up in work as I am as a person. And so I understand those people. I'll be like, holy shit, everyone's going to love this because I love it. And then I'm often squashed because I have the conversations and they're like, yeah, it's cool, but I don't want to spend money there right now. And I'm like, what? How could you not want this? So if I were your white label partner, I would very much be like, oh yeah, Matt, I've got like so many websites and we're ready to go. I'm so excited because I love your product. And then I go have the real conversations and it pops my balloon and I'm like, well, fuck. I thought you guys would love this. You know
what's funny? So let's just fast forward. If we were to do that, I know how to make it so your clients become optimists too. It's just no one wants to do that piece of work. Like I just tell
everyone. What is that piece of work? What is it?
It's literally a 5-minute demo. So you open up, you go to their website and ahead of time, prepare their own chip bot. Like pull a TikTok, pull an Instagram, you could put it on their website in real time without going in their coding. And you could see like, hey, thanks for jumping on the call. Before we do anything, I'm actually going to open up your site. Just can you give me the URL you want to show ChipBot on?
Yeah.
And they go to the URL and you just put ChipBot. You can add ChipBot directly without touching their website and interact with it. Yeah. It's a whole demo process to it. It doesn't require any software. And you put it on there and you could just be like, so what do you think? Like you're already 5 minutes in the conversation. It's like, what do you think? Should we use the content creator from last night? How about Danielle that you hired 7 days ago? You want to see what her on her? We're not even talking about buying or selling. We're just seeing like which content creator looks well on the website. And
you're playing.
It's a done sale. It's a done sale. So it's very easy to actually transfer that optimism. Everything I really say in terms of what's magic, I'm the reverse. So I actually overperform often. So I'll say one thing and just omit the other cool things and just leave them to the end. So everything that you get excited about, there's way more stuff that's even more exciting above that. It's just a lot of the folks that white label they don't take it to the next step. Anyway, the emotion piece that you mentioned, that's very true. Like, I think here's a funny point with like emotional type folks. I was at my table tennis. I got a new table tennis coach for training for Monday through Friday, or Monday through Wednesday. I am generally an emotionless person, like generally. Right. And I play table tennis and I'm grunting. I'm like working super hard. I get these great shots And the guy is like, this is a great shot. I don't say a single word. Like, I'm just like in like a mean face. I'm like, I'm just trying to get better. And this guy is like saying, that's a great shot. High five. Like, I don't want to fucking give a high five. Just keep going. I'm paying you to train me. And this guy, I know he's an emotional guy. I'm not giving him any feedback of emotion. So he's like, am I doing a good job or not? It's like,
That's
you're
what I
doing a
was
great
just going
job.
to say. He's like, am I doing a good job with this person? And he needs a validation to know he's doing a good job.
Yeah, and he's doing great. But like, I have one goal right now, which is to get better. And your job is to make me better. Everything else is for the next hour. I can't think of anything else but getting better.
Okay.
So it's funny. So I think like even the emotional piece is like, you're 100% true with like, you're in this fluffy area, and then if there's no emotion, everything gets grounded. I totally understand that too. Mm-hmm. Great conversation, Anne. We'll chat again, and that's it. Thanks for listening, everyone.
Yeah. Thanks, guys. Thanks, Matt.